You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
60 outlaw. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Clear.
Another jet sweep to start the drive. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
That's how we start. Keep playing.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jones gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 20. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, And I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run the counter. It's Nash. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. A look now at the Miami offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Back to throw. Alonso. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. For 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
I'm going back to you.
Now a give, right side. Nash, and not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
To throw on 3rd down. Alonso going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 30.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
2nd and 15. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback.
Packers bring pressure, and they block it. And they will take this. Possession of football just shy of midfield. An early special teams wake-up call there, their first drive, and they have the punt block.
And obviously they were giving the ball up, but that's not the way it's supposed to conclude. That ball's supposed to be downfield, better field position for your defense to work off of. Instead, you've given up a momentum play, and now you've got the other side excited.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, He was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Well, you can just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And there's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, here's Breida. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Alonzo. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. 24-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, 8 catches, just shy of 140 yards and a touchdown.
3rd in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong number. That means he's being consistent each and every time out.
60 Pittsburgh.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, 1st-round draft pick. Uncle was a 1st-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll start on the ground with Breida. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it.
To throw on second down. Alonso. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. On first down, Alonso. And he will find his man on the outside. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, it's Nash. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Looking to throw. Alonso. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 30. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, compete.
All the way in for a Miami touchdown. Matt Breida, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that'll make the score 14-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Ready? 60 or.
Throwing again, Jones. And he comes back with one complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on third down. Didn't get beyond them. No pickup.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Matt Breida in the offense heading back out. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run on first down. Nash. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. 2nd and 14. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Throwing Jones. He's got Smith here. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
You go set, 18 Gator.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a go.
On the delay, Jones. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Set, 60 outlaw. Go, go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now a give coming right is Breida. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This one taken from the 7.
Come on, fellas.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Still plenty of... Oh, this is blocked. Oh, the Packers have it. They have nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 40, 20, 10, and he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 44, Jones for the catch made by Johnson. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. Nice job of polishing off that drive, and all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now? Those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. A gain there of 21 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Alonzo nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw. Alonzo. And Daniels has it left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is. passes, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Nash. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
Let's go.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wondered about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about it, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Breida, he'll try the right side. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Throwing on first down. Alonso looking left side, and it's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
It's a gain of 34. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Miami. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. It's now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Jones. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Now Jones on first down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On second down now. It's Lambert. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness. You've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? Looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Alonso. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A very solid gain of 27. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees, And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Dolphins on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Alonso. And it's caught by Parker. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Alonso. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
On 1st down, Alonso being chased out left. He'll try and run it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2nd and 2. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they get to the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Back to throw. Jones. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And that will come the offense as they take over. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2.